So most full-size wireless mechanical keyboards at this price point cut corners somewhere. So I didn't really expect much from the Royal Kludge S104 going into this review. But after a few weeks of real-world use, it changed my expectations in a few key ways. Now the real question is whether it's actually worth your money and if you should pick one up. So let's find out. Alright, so we've got the S104 keyboard right here. I will note that we do have the red carbon color right here, and this does come in another polar violet color scheme as well, which is also pretty neat. So if you wanted to check that out, you definitely could on their website. So this one also came pre-installed with linear cream switches. Later on, we'll put it through a real-world sound test. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what it comes with. So right away, you've got the keyboard itself, which is wrapped up in this plastic, and it includes a convenient dust cover, which is a nice touch for keeping your keyboard both clean and dust-free while it's not in use. And so let's go ahead and pull it all the way out. All right, so this is what it looks like. I really got to say I like this color scheme a lot. Also included in the box is this user manual. Included as well on the back here is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle, which magnetically stores to the back of the keyboard for easy access. Also on the back of the keyboard, you'll find the on-off switch along with a USB Type-C port for wired use. You also get a USB Type-A to Type-C cable for charging and use in wired mode. So along with that, you also get a 2-in-1 keycap and switch puller. And finally, there's a few replacement switches and a prying tool as well. All right, so moving on to the design and build quality. Now this is a full-size 104 key layout, including dedicated arrow keys and full-size numeric keypad off to the right. It's also a tri-mode keyboard, meaning that it supports both Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode via the dongle, and USB-C wired connectivity. So the knob at the top right here is constructed of mostly aluminum at the top and then plastic on the sides. I really like the texture that you can feel and the individual clicks as you rotate it. So this knob not only acts as the volume adjustment, but you can also control different settings on the screen here. So the keyboard features durable dual-layered keycaps with north-facing LEDs. So underneath you can see the ABS plastic construction layer, and then there's also a polycarbonate coating on top. So with this two-layer design, you may notice that these feel slightly heavier than other keycaps. So the switches are also hot swappable, and if you wanted to change them down the line, you could definitely do so without soldering. The actuation force of the switch is roughly 45 grams for it to register a keystroke. This keyboard also has N-key rollover and anti-ghosting, which means that every key press registers accurately, even when you're pressing multiple keys at the same time, which is pretty crucial when you're either gaming or typing really fast. And so in both wired and 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode, the S104 offers a 1000 hertz polling rate. This ensures fast and responsive performance with no noticeable delays. And similar to other keyboards, though, one thing I really like here is that if you want to make any basic adjustments, you can go ahead and do that on the keyboard itself without having to go into a software. Now this means a lot of the RGB customization can be done directly from the LCD screen here. There are multiple lighting effects and styles to choose from. In terms of overall build quality, there's a slight amount of flex if you really try to twist this board and put pressure at the center. And that said, during normal use, it feels solid and very well built. The keyboard has a good amount of heft to it as well, so it stays planted on your desk and doesn't really slide around easily. And this is achieved by the rubber pads at the bottom to help with the grip. Now this keyboard definitely doesn't feel cheap or hollow, considering that it does have multiple layers of internal dampening, which definitely help to reduce unwanted vibration and other noise from the keystrokes. Overall, the typing experience on this keyboard is quite pleasant. So also on the back, you'll find these dual level adjustment feet that let you fine-tune any typing angle to your preference. The feet themselves feel very sturdy and they snap into place securely, which is always a nice touch to see. So whether you prefer a flatter typing experience or a steeper incline, it's easy to find and dial in that setup that feels comfortable to use. So powering this keyboard is a massive 8000 milliamp battery, which Royal Kludge rates at up to 200 hours of use with the RGB lighting turned off. However, most people won't do that, and you can expect up to 63 hours with lighting enabled. So with the software, you're able to do quite a bit of customization. Starting with the key binding tab, you can customize multiple layers and remap individual keys to a wide variety of functions. Simply select a key and assign it to media controls, macros, function keys, special commands, and more. Next is the macro manager, which is surprisingly versatile. It can record not only the different keyboard inputs, but also different mouse clicks, making it easy to create more advanced macros. And moving over to the lighting tab, you'll find a lot, if not all, of the RGB customization options. So on the left side, you'll see all the available lighting effects, while on the right-hand side, it gives you the adjustment controls to these lighting effects. The function settings tabs includes a few additional keyboard options. For the TFT screen, customization is very straightforward. You can upload your own image or GIF and save it directly to the keyboard for a more personalized look. And then finally at the bottom, you'll see a convenient shortcut that lets you download the latest version of the software to your PC. All right, so now let's hear what this keyboard sounds like. All right, and here's a showcase of the different lighting modes and effects. The Royal Kludge S104 delivers a lot of keyboard for the price. So at around the $100 mark, it's honestly hard to complain about the overall feature set and performance on this keyboard. That said, I'm not sure if the painted keycaps for the legends on the keycaps themselves will hold up long term. And visibility can be an issue if you're in a low light environment, since the keycaps aren't true shine through. But still, if you're able to catch this thing on sale, which you most likely will, it's definitely a viable option for a full-size mechanical keyboard. If you found this video helpful, helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And if you decide to pick one of these up, go ahead and check out my purchase link down below. It's a small way to support the channel, but it makes a huge difference. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.